this guy has been in the media literally for years. He's one of those very well-seasoned guys. Okay, let me tell the story. From what I remember, he's told me. No, I remember and I know he started off at Capital FM.
Absolutely.
Yes, he started off at Capital FM. Then he crossed the road. Walked up, and went to KBC. I even remember when you were telling me that story. You went for an interview, alafu kaambio, come this side.
Yeah.
And you told these other guys,
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right, yeah.
So after KBC, you then went to?
No, so I started at KBC.
Yes.
Then Capital. Then KTN.
KTN.
Yeah, so that's when I left radio.
Yes.
Then to TV. Then from KTN, I went to BBC, then to NTV.
Wow.
And then, we are still doing the thing.
Musical chairs indeed.
We have to.
It's
the cause.
Yeah, I mean, it's really about who writes the check at the end of the day. Now, that's what they don't want to tell you. Now, welcome to the show, Mr. James Smart. And what is actually interesting, and I always like to give this guy props, right? A lot of people who actually watch the trend on NTV, right?
Yeah.
This is a man, the brains behind it.
Yeah, so there's a funny story to it. I mean, and it's connected to us, and it's about 2011 or thereabouts.
Yes.
I get bored very quickly. So I got into this business of journalism and, all the right things. Like we get in there, we'll do stories. We get in there, tell the most important stories. But then I get bored very quickly.
Yes.
And I essentially wanted to leave. And I remember my boss, going to, I was sitting with him and I'm like, yeah, I've done everything. I've gone to the field. I've produced, I've anchored the news. I've been on primetime, but I need to leave.
Yes.
And they're like, find something else to do with yourself. And then I was like, okay, so let me find the most outrageous thing, which is I will take a primetime bulletin and, remove everything from it.
Yes.
Bring younger people into it. So we'll do news for a very short time. And then we're going to do interviews with musicians, with the person in front of news, the helons and whatnot. Let's bring everyone into the news. And he looked at me and he said, yes.
Let's do it.
I'm like, what? I hadn't thought about it. And he's like, yep, you want to start next week? I'm like, wait. Let me come back to the plan. But essentially it was serious. And I was like, I'll take up the chance. I'll take up the opportunity. And I picked Friday for the simple reason that Friday looked like a day that people are relaxed. Most people are
in the bar.
They should be relaxed. They should be relaxed.
We don't lie around here.
No.
Yes.
We also say the truth.
Okay.
So I picked Friday. I thought younger people would be more interested in a thing that is more fun, more engaging.
Yeah.
And so I decided to do that. So I said I was going to show up on set with a shirt and not a tie. And this is never done before. And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we're also going to have musicians. It's like, yeah, let's do it. And before, people don't realize this, before musicians were just not being interviewed. Artists were not being interviewed. Younger people being seen in the news were not interviewed. Essentially because news
was very rigid.
Supposedly a very serious thing.
Yes.
And so that is how the trend is born. The idea is to bring everyone else into the conversation, bring everyone else into the room, and over the years it's continued to have its space.
Now I want to take it back to way before you've started your whole professional career and everything, right? At what point did you actually go did you admire journalism?
So I think the concept of journalism is sometimes, as if you say it like that, it becomes a block thing that people doesn't make sense what it is.
Okay.
But point is this, journalism, when you strip it off from everything else, is the idea that there's someone who is interested to tell you a story about today that gives meaning about what's happening in your life.
Okay.
And it makes sense. So essentially bring the world together, connect the world, make the world make sense. And the world means my world.
Yes.
All right. So if today I am, a young person, I'm thinking about what happens about work. I'm going to finish my degree soon, whatever it is. Or I need someone to help make sense that, does this country actually work for me?
Okay.
All right. Are there opportunities in this country? What is it that is happening with the people who are supposedly supposed to work for us so that they can be able to do the things that I really want for myself? That's journalism.
Yes.
That person or the group of people who help us connect the world and make sense and tell stories.
You put it from a very informed point, right? But I feel like in this day and age, there's a lot of collision between you, who's a bit of a very seasoned journalist. You know, you've worked for various big news organizations, right? And then we have these other guys on the blogs, the vlogs, and all of those guys, and they still call themselves journalists, right? And when I know, I'm not going to quote anybody, but there's always this very quote unquote beef of, no, you're not doing the hard stories, you're doing all of this, mediocre, for lack of a better word, stories.
I will say that. I think bloggers will come after you after this.
Yes.
I need to be very clear. I've not said it. It's Calvin who said it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I think there's space for everyone to do whatever they need to do. I think we need people who are really interested in helping us understand the world in terms of health, in terms of business, in terms of opportunity, in terms of lifestyle. All right, we need those people. We also need people who tell fluffy things. Okay, people who are interested in pictures and sleazy things.
Yeah.
All right, it's fine. The society has space for all these people. Unfortunately, I think that we've paid too much attention to the people who are doing the fluffy things in very small ways, that then we focus, it makes us to be too little, as opposed to, it's fine, you can watch every kind of gossip you want about what's happening in this town, and that's okay and that's fine. But also, you have a life. And you need to have a space where there's a space where you can concentrate about, now the rents have gone up all of a sudden across the cities. What's with that? And we find someone who's able to explain to us what's that, so that then we're able to be governed in a better way. And this is how, in many ways, we allow our political class to get away with things, all right? Because we essentially show them that we don't care about our own lives, all right? And we don't want to fix our own problems. And then we are wondering, so, okay, why are they doing these things? And then it shows up on social media, we get pissed that politicians are increasing taxes.
For a day or two.
Yeah, they do whatever, and then we move on. Yeah. But this space for that is our attention span. As a people needs to be fixated on the two things at the same time. The idea that you can chew gum and cross the road at the same time. That it's possible for us to, see what's the funny thing and the most things that, are sleazy in town. And also on this other side, that to pay attention really and be like, hold up. Why is the people that we've employed, politicians, increasing their salaries today?
Yeah. Why do they have a tunnel?
Exactly. What's with that? All right? And put pressure in that and make sure that we not only consume that kind of content, but share it among ourselves and make sure that it makes sense, because they would listen to you. You've seen the half of the time when an issue has become an issue, even on social media, politicians are smart people. They actually sit back and be like, maybe that's not the right time to do this. And then they would walk back. Yeah. All right. And our country would be in a much better position if we did a bit more of that. All right. The same effort we put in
all of these other things.
Yes.
James, I'm a bit concerned. I watch you on the TV and everything. And my final question for you, with all due respect, is how long until your news broadcast is hosted by artificial intelligence?
Very soon. I think the first thing that will interrupt first, I think it's you, unfortunately.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yes.
So there'll be some voice that is going to be a Calvin voice like.
I'm looking forward to it, because I can just sleep and just send it.
Yeah. And then send it. And then they're going to engage you for 4 hours. They would have your demeanor, your tone, your humor.
Yeah.
It will select its own music. And then it'll go. I think that is going to be a big interruption for all of us.
I think I'm safer than you are. Think about it like this. So for me, it's not what do you call it? I don't have to be on the ground interviewing people.
No,
I don't have to interview politicians, right?
For sure.
Yeah, in a physical sense. But we're doing an interview right here. But for yours is going to be drastic.
It will interrupt everything that we do, and I think there's only so much you can do when there's an interruption. The way I think of it, like sometimes, maybe much earlier on when we're getting to learn about journalism and whatnot, photojournalists were seen as people who were interrupting the job of writing and journalism, right?
Shagana to Boni.
Yes.
Boniface Mwangi.
And Boniface, yes. And your colleagues who are filming this. Photojournalists were seen as interruption. You're like, we are in the business of writing because journalism was print.
Yes.
But then over a period of time, because I was like, actually, people who do great photos,
you can tell a story.
Yeah, they tell stories. And then we moved on and be like, these guys of TV are just interrupting things. And then TV had to be included in the whole business of storytelling, and then social media, right? So we've gone through the whole cycle of things that are supposedly supposed to
interrupt,
but then they're inbuilt into the system. And I think AI will be sort of figure out, it will help sort of like research, the things that would help storytelling a lot, but AI will do that, and if it's going to help us to publish things a bit better with people's voices and images and that sort of thing, then so be it. All right. The function and value of a journalist waking up today, putting on their shoes and going and interviewing Mamboga and interviewing the CEO of Safaricom will always be there. AI will never do that. All right.
So I've listened to you.
You're not convinced, but it's fine.
No. I'm a bit convinced, but onto something that is going to be remarkable for this trade and AI.
All right.
It will make brown envelope journalism so seamless. Think about it. AI, artificial intelligence, brown envelope journalism, seamless.
It's going to work.
We work so well.
We look forward to all the interruptions and all the mistakes that it brings.
So on a positive side, the threats that you were getting from this said people, from the politicians and what have you.
Right.
AI, they won't have to send no threats.
Yeah.
It will just be commands.
Yes.
So there's a positive.
And it's like, deal with that. I see where you're going, Calvin. Very clever.
Very.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming through. It's been
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a very, very dope interview. I would love to come on your show, but I'm not a politician.
We don't host politicians on the show. We host everyone on the show. Please come to my show. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you don't have to wear a tie as well.
There's that. Yeah. I can come talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm launching my political career, by the way.
You want to be the MCA of Trace?
Everybody, I've seen there's been a trend.
Yeah.
You go onto radio, national platform, what. You make a bit of money, start hanging out with politicians a bit, then you launch a political career.
Yeah.
There's guys who've done a master's in that, so I'm kind of reading about it.
I think you'll be a very good politician. Look forward for your launch of a career. Please come to my show. Very happy to ask you all the hard questions.
Yes.
Primarily, where did you make your money? Which is very important. And how much is it?
Mine is actually going to be so important. Like, I've got a whole brand new way to tackle journalism. And let me tell you this, it's going to be so dope. Like, what I want to do for Nairobi, it might be the governorship and all of that. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure the kind of governor should listen to this interview because, but competition is competition.
Competition is competition.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been James Smart. Very, very intelligent, interesting conversation. I hope you've enjoyed that. We're most definitely going to be putting it out on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, Trace in Africa. And you're going to be on the news today. What time? Guys usually promote their songs. Okay. So this is my chance to promote another.
Yes. Okay.
Another media house.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm always on the news on Tuesday night. With all due respect, I do it every Tuesday on your channel of choice. This is NTV. Today I'm going to be on the news, sitting on for a colleague. It's going to be a straight bulletin. And yes, if you want to understand what's happening in the news, big ways on how, life is changing and politics is changing. We'll attempt to do that at 9 p.m. I always try to do this, me and my colleagues, at 9 p.m. and 7 p.m. Your language of choice.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Brilliant. Yeah. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
I was about to ask you a question, but let me leave.